in Chemical Engineering Department at LJ Institute of Engineering and Technology. The subject that we are going to continue is petroleum refining and petrochemicals. So in this lecture we will start a new chapter, that is your polymer chapter. Now here you can see that what are the different types of polymer which are included in it. Okay. So starting from plastics, foam, fibers, elastomers, coating and adhesives, okay, all these are the classification of your polymers, okay. Only just polythene is not your polymer, right? Fiber like rayon, okay, that is also your polymer. Your rubber, that is also one kind of your polymer. Similarly adhesive, okay, coatings, those are also your polymers. So here you can see that, have a brief classification of it, okay. First of all, the plastics, what are the different types of plastic here, okay. Polythene, PVC, right? Polyvinyl chloride is also one kind of your plastic. Then polystyrene and other styrene copolymers. Similarly, polypropylene, acrylonitrile, butadiene styrene copolymers, okay, cellulose acetate, phenol, urea, melamine, okay, these are the some kind of categories of your plastic, okay. The second one is your foam, okay, so in foam, what are the different kinds, okay, polyurethane, polystyrene, okay, so these are the types of your foam which are included in a part of your polymers. The next is your synthetic fiber, okay, so in synthetic fiber, categories what, polyamides, okay, nylons, polyester, acrylic, polypropylene, then resins, cellulose acetate, okay, these are the different kinds of your synthetic fibers, right? Then elastomers, what are the elastomers here? SBR, okay, one of the famous kind of rubber which is used in day-to-day life, okay, styrene butadiene rubber. Then your polybutadiene, then your polyisoprene, okay, acrylonitrile copolymers, silicon, okay, these are the kind of elastomers which have elasticity, okay. Then the next is coatings and adhesives, right? So here you can see that epoxy, unsaturated polymers, polyvinyl acetate, acrylides, okay, so these are the kind of coating and adhesives which are used, okay. Now moving forward, here we will see what are the uses of your polymer. So here you can see that the major uses in what? In packaging. Of course, plastic is used in day-to-day life for packaging purpose, okay. Then you can see in building and construction also. The electrical coating, insulation wires, okay, what are those? Those are made of what? Polymers. So this way you can see that what are the various kinds of application you have, okay. So in footwear, medical, then in toys and these other categories your polymers are used. Now, here the classification of polymers. See, polymers is classified in many ways, okay. Here you can see that first of all your natural and synthetic polymers, they are classified in many ways, okay. It is organic and inorganic, or on the basis of physical properties, okay. So based on physical properties, what you have? First of all, you have plastomers, that are plastics. Then elastomers, which is elasticity in it, okay. And then is the fiber. These are the major categories of your polymer classification based on the physical properties. Now, if we are talking about the thermal characteristics, then it is classified into two parts as thermoplastic polymers and thermosetting polymers, okay. Now, thermoplastic is what? Which can be heated and cooled, okay. Heating and cooling can be occur and its chemical structure do not change, it's just the physical appearance change, okay. So that is your thermoplastic. Now, whereas thermosetting polymers, now they are the permanent setting resins, okay. Once you have molded your polymer into a shape, again by heating it you can change the temperature. Further heating will result into what? Degradation of its chemical structure. So these are the two types of your polymers, okay. But here note down that your thermoset plastics, okay, they are more stronger than your thermoplastic. Simple polythene bag, you have seen if you heat it, its structure changes, okay. But the chemical structure do not change even after heating, okay. The composition is same, but its physical appearance change. That is not the case in thermosetting plastic. Now, the major type of thermoplastic polymers which you have to study in this chapter is first of all your low density polythene, high density polythene, polypropylene which you have already studied, then your PVC, polyvinyl acetate, polystyrene. So here you can see that the family of it, okay. Polyolefin means what? It is formed from what? Polythene. It is the monomer is what? Ethylene, okay. So that is multiple additions of olefin. It will give you what? Polythene. Similarly for vinyl chloride and vinyl acetate, your group is what? Vinyl is your group, okay. You can see that chlorine is added here into it, okay. Similarly for polystyrene, your group is what? Styrene. You can see the ring structure along with your ethylene alkyl group, okay. So these are the major types of thermoplastic which you have to study in this chapter. Now, the methods of addition polymerization. See, here you can see that all these components, okay, all these polymers, they are formed. The mechanism is what? Addition polymerization, okay. See, based on mechanism also again you can classify your polymers, okay? Addition polymers and condensation polymer. Here we will study about addition polymers, okay? So the methods of addition polymerization, okay? How you can carry out the formation, okay? First is your bulk polymerization. Here when you use bulk polymerization you get your purest form of polymer and yield is also very high. Okay, this method involves only the monomer. So in your reactor, you are only taking your monomer, an initiator and a chain transfer agent. Now, as this is addition polymerization reaction, you have 3 steps to do. Okay, first of all, an initiator. What does it do? It initiates the reaction. Okay, then propagation happens. Okay, multiple times addition will happen. Now, if you have to stop the reaction, what you use? You use your chain transfer agent. Okay, it means it transfers the reaction now. Now addition reaction will not happen, or you can think it as a terminator. Okay, terminates your addition reaction. The second type of method here is solution polymerization. Now here mechanism is same. Addition reaction is only happening, but what you are doing here you are adding an inert solvent. Okay, you are adding an inert solvent which enhances the heat capacity. Okay, the solvent, it has high heat capacity. See, your polymerization reaction is an exothermic reaction. Okay, so solvent, it has high heat capacity. It means it will absorb excess heat. Okay, so here the utility of what your cooling reagent which is used in bulk polymerization, that would be decreased because already your solvent, it has high heat capacity. So thereby it reduces your viscosity and facilitating heat transfer. Okay, now the next method is suspension polymerization. Here, in order to control the enormous amount of heat released in bulk polymerization, what you're doing, you're using the suspension polymerization method. Here the reaction mass, it is dispersed into minute droplets of 0.01 to 1 mm size. Okay, and all these droplets, they individually act as a reactor. Okay, they act as a bulk reactor, so the heat distribution occurs here. So your enormous amount of heat which is liberated, okay, controlled reaction is carried out over here. Okay, so that is the use of suspension polymerization. Okay, so these are the 3 methods by which you carry out your polymerization reaction. Now, the first category of your thermoplastic polymer here is PVC. Okay, it is called as polyvinyl chloride. So the basic monomer here is what? Vinyl chloride. Okay, we studied in a few lectures ago also that your vinyl chloride, how it is made? It is made from acetylene or ethylene. Okay, ethylene is the major source here of your vinyl chloride. Okay, now we saw the reaction is what? Free addition reaction. Okay, radical reaction is like means so using a free radical initiator, your PVC can be made with any of the 4 general methods of your polymerization. Okay, emulsion, bulk, solution. Okay, these are the various methods by which you carry out your addition reaction. Okay, now here what method you use? Suspension polymerization method is used because it has significant advantage such as low investment, large reactor technology, and it is a clean method. Okay, and also environmentally safe. So what method you use to carry out your addition polymerization reaction? That is your suspension method. Okay, now here you can see that your monomer is what? Again, vinyl chloride. Okay, when it undergoes your polymerization reaction in presence of suitable catalyst. Okay, generally what catalyst you use here? Ziegler-Natta catalyst is used. Okay, so in presence of proper operating temperature catalyst, your vinyl chloride, it undergoes polymerization reaction. Okay, the mechanism is what? Addition reaction, and the method is what? Suspension polymerization, and you get your what? Polyvinyl chloride. So this is your structure of your PVC, right? So the reaction is again what? Exothermic in nature. So here you can see the flow diagram is simple. So in autoclave what you are sending a vinyl chloride monomer along with a catalyst and an emulsifier for carrying out the suspension. Okay, you are using an additive. Now, this in autoclave your polymerization reaction occurs. So you are sending into flash tank. Okay, from where you are taking out your what? Unreacted monomer. Again, it is sent to the stripper where further your unreacted monomer is taken out. Now the next part is of separation. Okay, from your then your mixture is then sent to centrifuge and dryer. So in dryer, the reason is what? Because you are using a solvent also. Okay, so in centrifuge your solvent is taken out. In dryer, again what you are doing? You are taking out what? You are drying out the solvent here, and then further cyclone separator is used. Okay, then further screening is done to convert your PVC into small pellet size objects. Okay, so that is your final product which is obtained. So this is your flow diagram of manufacturing of PVC. So here you can see that your vinyl chloride monomer, okay, it has boiling point of how much? 13.4 degrees Celsius. Now after charging, the reactor temperature is what here? 45 to 75 degrees Celsius. Okay. Now the heat decomposes some of the initiators to free radicals, and the monomers in this droplets begin to polymerize. So here you can see that as heat is there, the initiator, it is converted into free radicals, and now the chain reaction occurs. Okay, addition reaction. Now, after polymerization is completed, the suspension is transferred to the degassing unit, where unreacted monomer is removed, purified, condensed and recycled. Okay, so here you can see that in flash tank stripper. What is that? That is a part of your degassing. Okay, you are removing your unreacted monomer. Now, then the polymer from the suspension, it is then separated by centrifuging and drying. Okay, so this was your method of production of PVC. Now, the polymerization is rapid at first, but slowly as conversion reaches 80 to 85%, the rate is reduced. So okay, this is one of the important points, that first conversion is very fast, and then once conversion reaches up to 80 to 85, this rate decreases. Okay. Now, what are the properties of PVC? First of all, it has good dielectric strength. It means good dielectric strength. It gives you what? Good insulating properties. Hence, you can see that in insulating wires. Okay, that insulation is made of what? PVC. It is highly durable. Okay, it is resistant to weathering, chemical rotting, corrosion and shock and abrasion. Okay. Then it is flame retardancy. It means because of its high chlorine content. Okay, the reason is what? The high chlorine content is there. Your PVC products are self-extinguishing. Right? The mechanical properties now. It is abrasion resistance, lightweight and tough. Hence you can see that even in plumbing also. Okay, you use your pipes of what? PVC material. Then it has long lifespan and needs low maintenance. Now talking about chemical resistance. It is resistant to all inorganic chemicals. Okay, it has very good resistance against diluted acids, diluted alkalides and aliphatic hydrocarbons. So these are the certain properties of your PVC. Now talking about the applications. Okay, PVC has a very wide range of applications. First of all is construction. Okay, it is used in window frames, pipes, house slidings, poles and roofings. Okay, so many sliding windows which are made. Okay, that railing is made of what? PVC again. Now, about the domestic use, you use in flooring also as a wall covering, okay, in shower contents, leather clothes, house pipes, okay. See here as per the demand, okay, what you're doing, you're adding certain additives, which again changes its certain properties, okay. It's totally based on its application. The next is your packaging. So in bottles, in blister packs, transparent packs also, for all these kind of things also, your PVC is used. Then for transportation, okay, the under seal, roof linings, wire insulation, and window seals. All of these has the application of what? PVC. Now, talking about the medical, okay, medical uses what? It's used in oxygen tanks, okay. Then in the bag and tubing for blood transfusion, the pipes which are made of what? PVC again. Then it is used to make drips, okay, drips and dialysis liquid also. Then when we are talking about the clothing, it is used to make waterproof jackets for fishermen, right? Then also for emergency services also. Then as a life jacket, shoes, right? So these are the applications of your PVC. Even the safety shoes which are used in industry, okay? The sole, it is made of what? PVC. Now, talking about the electrical uses, it is used as for cable and wire insulation in plugs, your sockets of plugs, okay? Then in cable, jackets, battery terminals, all of these are made of what? PVC. So these are the applications of your PVC. Next is your major engineering problem. See, polymers are, to make any polymer, you have to be very careful with its process technology. Okay, your operating conditions are very important here. Your PVC, when it is made, it is thermally unstable material. Okay, when it is made in the reactor, okay, a slight mishandling with the operating temperature may cause the degradation of material. Okay, it is highly unstable. So even a little bit fluctuation in your temperature, if it's not carried out properly, okay, then it will degrade. So your whole batch would be wasted here because the desired property which you needed, okay, that is not obtained here. So for that, what you do, stabilizers are added to stabilize this material, okay. So thermal stabilizers you have to add it. So your finished product, okay, the finished product is property is totally different. When it is made, you have to add what? Stabilizers also. Another problem is discoloration of brittle texture. Again, your color might vary or brittle texture is obtained. Okay, that is also the reason if you are not operating it at proper temperature and pressure condition. So these are the certain major engineering problems of your PVC. So that was for today's lecture. In next lecture we will study about different other kinds of polymers. Thank you.